The storm hit the Kansas plains like vengeance. Wind screamed through the hollowed streets, rain slashing sideways under flickering streetlights. Maya Torres gripped her steering wheel tighter, wipers useless against the downpour. Her son Leo slept in the back seat, clutching a threadbare dinosaur. When her car sputtered, coughed, and died, the silence afterward was deafening. No signal, no help, just darkness swallowing the horizon. Then she saw headlights swerving ahead. Then a crash. Her breath caught. Without thinking, she wrapped her coat around Leo, whispered, "Stay here," and ran into the storm. She didn't know the unconscious man in the wreck would change everything she thought she knew about loss, kindness, and power. Maya was 29, a single mother since Leo's father left 2 years ago. She worked double shifts at Heartman Textiles, a factory that promised family values, until it downsized last month, laying off half the staff, including her. Rent was overdue. The fridge held more hope than food. Yet every morning, she braided Leo's hair, packed his small lunch, and said, "We'll be okay." Her small apartment smelled of detergent and crayons, the wallpaper peeling near the stove, every bill stacked on the table like quiet threats. But Maya didn't break. She couldn't. Her father used to say storms reveal what doesn't bend. Tonight, driving home from a failed job interview, she whispered that to herself, unaware that fate was already testing her words. Out on that flooded road, the car had flipped onto its side, wheels spinning weakly in the mud. A man lay slumped across the driver's seat, blood streaking his temple. Maya forced the jammed door open, rain drenching her to the bone. His pulse, faint but steady. She dragged him out, every muscle screaming, and half carried him toward an old church she'd passed earlier. Inside, candles flickered before a cracked altar. She laid him near the pew, wrapped him in her jacket, and whispered, "Don't die on me, stranger." When his eyes fluttered open, confusion clouded them. "Where?" he murmured. "Shelter," she said softly. "You hit black ice." He tried to stand. Pain stopped him cold. "What's your name?" she asked. "Ethan," he managed. He didn't tell her his last name, Hartman, as in Hartman Textiles. The storm raged for hours, trapping them inside the church. Maya built a small fire from hymn books and old wood, her hands trembling from cold. Ethan watched her quietly. She offered him her thermos, lukewarm tea and too much sugar. "You saved me," he said. "I just did what anyone should. Not everyone does." He replied, voice heavy with something like regret. When Leo woke, sleepy and confused, Ethan smiled through his exhaustion. "You've got a brave mom." Leo nodded proudly. "She fixes everything." Maya blushed, brushing soot from her cheek. For the first time in months, laughter filled her chest. It felt foreign, fragile. Outside, the rain softened. Inside, two strangers shared warmth in the glow of melting wax. One carrying the secret of her pain, the other carrying the guilt of causing it. Morning brought light and truth. A truck stopped by the church. A man in a suit jumped out. "Mr. Hartman." "Thank God, we've been searching all night." Maya froze. Ethan turned, guilt washing over him. "Maya, She stepped back. "Hartman," as in the Hartman who laid off half the town. His silence was answer enough. The kindness in her eyes vanished, replaced by betrayal. "You destroyed my job, my home." "I didn't know," he said quietly. "The cuts weren't supposed to reach people like me." Her voice cracked. Ethan reached out. She recoiled. He could have explained the pressure, the board, the endless demands for efficiency. But none of it mattered. In her world, his choices meant hunger. In his numbers, between them stood everything wrong with fairness, and the fragile memory of one night's humanity. 2 weeks later, Ethan returned to the same church. The layoffs had sparked an investigation. The board blamed him, ready to replace him with someone colder. But Ethan had seen something in that storm, a mirror of the people he'd forgotten. He found Maya at a local diner wiping tables, exhaustion written into her bones. "You shouldn't be here," she said flatly. "I came to make things right. You can't buy forgiveness." "I don't want to. I want to rebuild." He slid a folder across the counter. Rehiring plans, childcare benefits, a new training division named Project Second Chance. Maya stared at him, disbelief softening into cautious hope. "Why me?" "Because you reminded me what leadership should look like. Someone who saves people without asking who they are." For the first time, Maya saw not a CEO, but a man learning to be human again. Months passed. The factory reopened under fair wages and safer hours. Maya became head of community outreach, her ideas changing lives. Leo visited Ethan's office sometimes, spinning in the big leather chair, giggling like hope itself. One evening, as the sun melted into the wheat fields, Ethan found Maya standing outside the church. "Storms still come," She said softly. He smiled. Then we build stronger roofs. Wind rustled through the broken steeple as they stood side by side. No longer worlds apart, just two souls who had survived the same night. And in her son's handwriting, taped to the door, were three simple words: warm beats storm.